A bubble of energy, a bright presence, a personality that sets the room alight upon arrival, a kid who saw the best in everything. At age 11, this is Thabang. I had just made it back from school. See, today me and a couple of other learners were called into the principal's office. We were told that in a week's time we would embark on school reading competitions. I was happy. I had been chosen to render a prepared speech. On this day, I ran home, told my mom about it. We retired the rest of the afternoon to preparing and ensuring that I had the best speech. This was the case in the next couple of days. The night before the competition, I could not sleep. I retired to my room, put a candle on my pedestal, laid on my bed, and I started rehearsing. I closed my eyes, envisioned myself on stage, recited to myself. I forgot that this trick of closing the eyes actually works well in gathering sleep. And given that I had already had a long day at school, it was in the early hours of the morning when sleep settled in like a tenant in a new apartment. I slept. 4 in the morning. The door slams open. My mother's voice. Thabang! What could be happening? I opened my eyes. See, during the night I had forgotten to blow off the candle before I had slept, and somehow it had fallen on the bed and everything had caught fire. My room was ablaze. My mom ran into the room and grabbed me, took me to the other room. After that, she put the fires out. When I looked down on my legs, I could not believe the reality before me. My legs had been caught on fire. I had been burned from above my knees all the way down to my toes. I had been on fire. We spent the rest of the morning debating on whether I should go ahead with the competition or not, because I could hardly walk. But then in the end, we decided to go ahead with the competition. And the time had come. I went to school. We went to the competitions. The time had come for me to go on stage. The entire hall sat in silence as I, little Rome, rose to my feet. A little bit awkward in the way I walked, but I was on stage. For the first time that day I could breathe, and it wasn't only the taste of fire alone in my lips. It was all the fury of things unsaid, and at the end of the day, I had given my best prepared speech. Something that I'm still amazed on, because what I did was nothing that I actually prepared. I was the only person from my school that won that day. And since that day, I had the fire for performing. I went home, slept well in my room, filled with a nagging smell of smoke, but I slept well, knowing that I always had the fire in me.